GamerCast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network video game show for Friday, May 11th, 2007. I'm Chad. This week for the roll call, when I say your name, tell me the game all of your friends loved, yet you hated.
Oh, I know right away.
And joining me in studio this week is Tom.
Unreal Tournament, because I know these guys loved it. I couldn't stand it, because it was a jump, flip, spaz fest.
Yes, it was. If anybody knows me from the show, they know that I really don't like the run, shoot, die games, but for some stupid, sick reason, I did like Unreal Tournament. Especially the 12, 13-hour marathon we had in Chris's basement.
Also joining me this week is Ivan.
I don't hate it, I just never played it. Everyone played WoW, and I just never got into it, mainly because I just wasn't interested.
Also joining me this evening is Phil.
Hello, everybody. My game would probably have to be SWAT 4. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it just because it wasn't Raven Shield. I got to a point in the demo where I couldn't figure out how to arrest somebody and take them back to the
What is this?
extraction point.
Arrest?
Yeah, you actually had to arrest and keep calling in
you don't
to the
arrest
base
them.
and stuff.
You shoot people in the face, you don't arrest them.
No. There was a mission where you had
No,
to
it
put
doesn't-
handcuffs
then-
on them and stuff.
Then that game is useless.
You put a gun in their hand when they're on the ground.
Exactly.
That's
You shoot
exactly
them
right,
and then you
like
put
it.
a gun in their hand, and they say they came right at you.
Also joining me this evening is Keith.
I would honestly have to go with either StarCraft or Warcraft. I can't stand the RTS games because I'd be over there trying to make my little piece, and I'm getting attacked by 50,000 little Zergling in like 30 seconds. That's not fun. That's just dumb.
My choice is one that Tom played a lot, was Command & Conquer Red Alert. I like RTSs, I just never could get into that one. I was more into the StarCraft, Warcraft thing. And in GamerCast Network community news, be sure to check out Uncle Gamer Radio episode number 29, where they're joined by Miss Ivory from Gamertag Radio. Also check out Podtacular episode number 113, where they talk all about the Halo 3 beta. And finally, go check out Gamertag Radio episode 99, where they talk with the producers of Time Shift from Sierra Games.
Next topic.
Okay, so I guess we should have our housekeeping things this week, which was there is actually a name to the Kid Icarus.
Haha.
Haha,
I was
yes.
right.
And we still made you feel like an idiot for a week.
I know you did.
Yes, his name is Pit, and does the game say that?
Yeah, it might have not specifically said it in the game, but I'm sure in the instruction manual it said, you are Pit, a fat,
I don't
chubby
recall
little chair.
seeing it anywhere in the game because I even went downstairs because that was one of the games we got on Brian's Wii.
So who's actually Icarus then?
Well,
Okay,
Icarus was the guy that made the wings and tried to fly to the sun, and they melted. I think it's just for a fact he was the little cherub guy running around with the wings that was Kid Icarus.
And from our forums, Mix, who is a listener from the Philippines, reminds us that only the Japanese are really horny and crazy. The Koreans are crazy, but for the rest, he clearly can't say that much. When we talk about horny Asians, we should make sure we specifically say the Japanese from now on.
Okay, you gotta at least admit that the Chinese are horny, or else there really wouldn't be a billion.
1.5 billion. Yeah. Well, in honor of Mix, we will dedicate this show to the Philippines.
Next topic.
I like Dawn of War. It's still the only RTS game I found that to be enjoyable.
Have you played Company of Heroes?
I have no interest to. I'm so World War II'd out, it's insane. I'm so sick of the World War II genre to let it die and find something new.
But what other war would there be?
You know, Vietnam was I don't want to say popular, but
I think
newsworthy war. I mean, you don't see nearly as many Vietnam games.
I think the issue is that, at least here, people prefer World War II because we won. I'm being serious. I think
that's a good point.
Also, there's still people that are gaming today that were involved in Vietnam. You know, I really can't see too many World War II vets out there gaming. And this is just my hypothesis. I have no idea if this is true or not.
The thing is, they did try a few Vietnam games, like Men of Valor, Battlefield had a Vietnam one. There are a few other Vietnam games actually out there, but not as many as World War II.
Well, plus there's no moral ambiguity when you kill a Nazi.
Yeah, everyone can kill a Nazi and feel good about themselves.
I actually like the more modern combat ones just because of the more modern weaponry. I really am not a fan of the World War II era weapons, and stick grenades and that kind of crap. I like the new stuff.
No, I'm with you. I want to see like well, again, I just use this as the genre base, but like a Warhammer 40,000 shooter game. I think that could be fun.
There was one for the PlayStation 2, wasn't there?
Yeah, shooter for the PlayStation 2. Let me know how that works. Let me know how that works for
Okay,
you.
yeah, but at least they tried.
So did communism, my friend. It tried as well.
Next topic.
For the PlayStation 2 this summer, 80s Guitar Hero is coming out. This is basically an expansion genre disc of titles. And they announced 7 of the songs that are going to be on there. The songs are going to be I Wanna Rock by Twisted Sister, I Ran by Flock of Seagulls, Round and Round by Rat, I Want Candy by Bow Wow Wow, Metal Health by Quiet Riot, Holy Diver by Dio, and Heat of the Moment by Asia.
I know all these songs except for Heat of the Moment.
I'm sure you've heard it before. It was the heat of the moment.
Oh, okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now, what I had heard was that the retail disc copy was announced for PlayStation 2.
Yes.
But what was unclear was whether or not they would release it as downloadable content for the 360. I find it very hard to believe that they would, with the 360, I mean, why would you not?
But I guess the question is, how much would they charge you for said content?
Yeah, and maybe that's why they haven't announced anything, because I'm sure they've heard the backlash about their downloadable content for the Guitar Hero 1 track, so maybe they're just trying to figure out some pricing that isn't going to cause everyone to get all pissed off again.
They've only announced 7 titles here, and usually the Guitar Heroes has around 30 or 40 songs.
Yeah, but they don't have 30 or 40 big name songs. They have 20 big name songs. I mean, I pretty much would expect to double this list in a little bit.
At least, yeah. And that's another good reason to have it downloadable. I mean, 30 songs for downloadable content's probably a lot as far as memory.
What are the sizes on the current packs?
The 3 Guitar Hero track packs, 2 of them are 31 meg and 1 is 33 meg. So I guess they're about 11 meg apiece since there's 3 songs in each.
And the thing is, I remember the Graw expansion, one of the expansions being 700 to 800 megs. So
That's true. The Oblivion expansion, I'm pretty sure was pretty big.
yeah. So if they wanted to do one huge expansion pack for the 360, although I imagine pricing on that would be ridiculous and people would complain to high hell, but
I think that they're going to break it down to its lowest possible thing, because I think they will also be able to get the most money for it.
Right.
Because you could say, I'll sell you 10 things for $1, or I'll sell them for 15 cents. I'll sell you 10 things individually for 15 cents each. And people will probably buy all 10 things for 15 cents each, not even really thinking that they're paying more money.
Next topic.
last week we talked a little bit about Lord of the Rings Online launching, and some of the numbers have finally come out about how well it did. And apparently it did very well for the week it was released. So number 1 was Lord of the Rings, number 2 was World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade, number 3 was Command & Conquer 3. I forgot one interesting thing about the Lord of the Rings membership plan. Before it came out, if you were willing to pay $200 at once, you will never have to pay any subscription fees from that point on. So it's like a lifetime membership you're getting.
Well, that's a big risk to plop down $200, have it, be around for 2 years and then have whoever developed it say, this isn't making us any money, we're going to cancel.
Although there are games even though Auto Assault is not the most popular thing in the world, it is still running.
Yeah, and we can ask our true hardcore WoW gamer, would you spend $200 to just have WoW for life, Phil?
At this point, knowing what I know now that I did not know then, probably would, because I'm sure I've spent well over $200 over
How
the
long have you
last
played it,
two and
do
a
you
half
know?
years. Pretty much since launch, yeah. Like you guys said, it's too early to do something as
Well, I'm
crazy
just-
as
I'm
that.
not even
because,
saying-
I mean,
not
even
even
with
looking
World
at
of Warcraft, we stopped after, 4 or 5 months? And we didn't pick it up some of us didn't pick it back up for another, 6 to 8 months. If you do pay it and you take a break for a long time, I mean, you're still kind of losing money. I don't think I would have.
Okay.
The other thing is, it could go the way of Star Wars, and halfway through its life, they could completely change something to break it and make you not want to play anymore.
Yeah, they could completely overhaul the game, and how pissed off would you be if you paid $200 for World of Warcraft and got, Sims Online instead? But I'm
Very pissed.
but in all honesty, that's the kind, and that was really the kind of swing from the Star Wars game. Well, maybe not that extreme, but again, on an unproven game where even you can't bank on the lore of it either, because look at Star Wars. Star Wars has about just as big of a following as Lord of the Rings, and that game flopped as well. So you can't even bank on just the fact that it's Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, so it'll be around.
Yeah, that's a pretty big
I
risk
do
to
have
take.
nipples of clairvoyance, but the future of the Lord of the ring's too powerful. My nipples can't quite see that far.
Saruman is powerful for you.
Yeah, he's too mighty for my nipples. Which
Saruman or Sauron? Which was the
Sauron is the main evil guy. Saruman was the fallen
The wizard.
wizard.
Yeah, I think also Blizzard's probably a little too powerful too, because if they see a big competitor, they're gonna probably.
Yeah, they're going to do a lot to squish him.
I expected it to honestly knock out World of Warcraft for the number one spot, but that's also because it's a new game. A lot of people are probably going to it to try it out. In a month or so, I don't know if that's still going to be.
I don't know. Maybe people are just waiting for word of mouth too.
But I know a lot of people who are kind of sick of World of Warcraft, because even around the office, people are like, hey guys, do you guys want to like start a clan like over at Lord of the Rings? Because a lot of people who are very hardcore into WoW and they've got like 270 characters, and then there's a lot of people who have like a couple level 20 characters that aren't so hardcore. Everyone was talking about like resetting and just going to a different universe and starting a clan at a whole different MMO.
Exactly. So you can basically start over, start from scratch, and not only that, the game is still new enough to where you can get in at ground level and not have to deal with the ridiculously overpriced items in markets and that kind of thing, because it's all still new.
Like, how did Keith just go max headroom on us? Am I the only one hearing
I
it?
did
Like,
too.
echo?
I wasn't sure if it was
Okay,
just me.
cool, awesome.
Next topic.
I can pretty much guarantee you that I will get the Warhammer at least to 40,000. There's a good chance I'll pick up Warhammer itself, but I would not do any large investment. For your $50, you get the game and the first month free. That's pretty much standard.
See, that's the problem I've always had with these MMOs. Is if I'm going to pay a subscription fee, I don't really want to pay for the client at the start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Kind of the reverse of Guild Wars, where you pay for the game, but there's no monthly fee.
but people pay it otherwise, because that's what we always said. Well, it should be a reduced rate. The game shouldn't be $50 to buy. It should be, I don't know, say like $20 to buy with the monthly fee. Again, there's a lot of people that will buy an MMO and play for a month and then decide they don't like it and chuck it to the side. That's their way of getting their profit off of those people. So that's the only thing I could say that would be for it.
There's those people. So, have it free for download and don't give a month away free.
Yeah, so you're still at least
So
getting your
they're at least
$15.
getting $15 out of you. So they're making money on every single person who plays the game.
But just like everything else, why would they do that when people are glad
and that's
spending the money,
That's the
the
point.
$50 and then the fee? If you even go to Best Buy, they're still selling the game in Best Buy. It would be stupid for someone to change that when the norm is already accepted.
Hell, they still sell Diablo 2 for like $40 at Best Buy or whatever it is, some ridiculous amount.
Well, it's good they sell it in the war
Yeah,
chest.
but still.
Do we know what the numbers of Diablo 2 players still are? I bet it's still pretty significant. We still have it installed on computers because if you ever just want to go stab something in the face for nostalgia value.
Next topic.
Hellgate just announced their fees for the online portion of their game. Tom, can you refresh us our memories of Hellgate, because you were at the Games for Windows event?
It really is Diablo 3. It's different in that you have the opportunity to look through a first-person view, but generally I don't get the feeling that most players are. If you use the little scroll wheel, you could scroll back out to like a 3/4 over your head view. Dynamic is good old-fashioned Diablo, because you're clicking on the enemy, and it's not like a first-person shooter where you have to be accurate. This is just click, and your gun shoots, and it's like a spell from Diablo 2. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know there are some swords and whatnot.
They will always have swords just because there
Yeah.
are people like me and Bob out there that I don't care how big your gun is. I would rather punch you in the face with something as opposed to shoot you with it.
And this week they actually came out with some of the subscription information. Now the game itself is going to have a single player. Now in tandem with that, they're going to have 2 levels of online service. One level is going to play just like Diablo 2. It's all free to play, like you're playing over Battle.net. Now, the change here is you can subscribe for $10 and become a quote-unquote elite player. The non-elites are going to only have 3 characters per account. The elites are going to have 12 characters per account. In terms of items, the non-elites can only hold 20 items in their stashes. The elites can have 40 items in their stashes. Here's the big difference is the elites are going to get extra content. Ooh. The elites are going to be getting mini updates per month, like new items and that kind of stuff. But 4 times a year, they're going to be getting things like new character classes, totally new areas. On top of that, the elite players also are the ones who can actually create guilds. Now, as a non-elite, you can join a guild, but you can't be an officer or a leader in a guild. Only the elites can. And also the elites are going to be able to do things like other kinds of game modes, like the hardcore mode, where it's like 1 life and then you die, and also going to have access to PvP. Again, the fee here is $10 a month, and lots of people are not very happy about this.
I like how we're recreating like aristocratic Europe in online world, where we have the elite citizens, then we have the rabble down there. I hope there's an in-game emote for like snub. Like when you walk past a non-elite, you could stick your nose up in the air.
That would be sweet.
Mock the non-elites.
Yeah, but then you're going to get to the point where the non-elites are trying to get in the groups with the elites, and if the elites get all of the fancy schmancy stuff...
See, that might not be able to happen because that would mean the non-elites would have to go into the elite zone. They can't do that. You can't group up and then say, okay, we're all going to go into the special zone.
Well, you can. You'll just leave them behind.
Yeah.
Hey, join our group? Yeah, come on. You can't come in, you stupid ass. Kicked.
Peasant.
It'd be funny in like non-elite world. It's like Hellgate London. It's all dark and grimy and all the gothic look. And then when you go to the elite area, it's like all pristine, like a country club. And all right.
Butlers all around in tuxedos handing out champagne.
Smoking cigars.
Would you like the blessed holy round, my friend?
So here's a question. What if you pay for elite status right before you know there's going to be, a quarterly update, and then you're elite for a month, and then you discontinue or you don't renew? Does all your stuff go away?
The stuff doesn't go away, but you don't have access to it.
Until you re-sign up.
You know what? You can't blame them. They got to test the water. If they came out at $10 a month and people don't like it and don't pay for it, you can pretty much guarantee that they'll lower their elite price. If you don't like it, don't pay. And trust me, the companies will change the way they're doing things if they're not making money.
For $10, it's somewhat enticing. I mean, considering...
I guess it's enticing as to what the content's actually going to be. I mean, if it's really crappy content, it doesn't add anything to the game.
Yeah, it could be one of those things that backfires where they're going to offer you all of this cool stuff to be an elite, and then the few people that do join up say, you know what, it's not worth it, I'm canceling. The game is more than enough fun with the free subscription.
You might miss out on some things, but hey.
All you can really do is wait and see.
Yeah.
And if people like it and people pay for the elite stuff, you can be sure that other people will be told this is cool, this is worth it. We also just have to kind of realize in this day and age that the monthly subscription is becoming the norm.
Yeah.
It's no longer where just a certain game is doing it. It's kind of becoming the norm for most things. Yeah, people hate it, but you kind of have to learn to just deal with it.
Well, all I can say is if it doesn't do well, we just have another reason to hate EA.
Yes, actually, that's one final point here is EA is the publisher of Hellgate.
Don't pay to be an elite, no matter what you do. No matter what carrot they dangle in front of your face.
Next topic.
Okay, let's, we haven't talked about Bumblefoot for a while.
He's old and busted. The Virginia Tech shooting really, I think, was the nail in coffin on Bumblefoot. I don't think he has much relevance anymore.
I think he's grasping at straws for this one, what he's trying to do this week. Coming up, Wendy's is going to have a Nintendo Wii promotion for their kids' meals.
For the game Manhunt?
No.
That'd be awesome in the game. Like you have to walk up behind someone and shove like a burger in their mouth.
Actually, that's how you kill them. You feed them burgers till they die of a heart attack.
Their promotion is going to have things like, figures of toys from Excite Truck and like a little replica Wiimote and that kind of stuff. However, Thompson doesn't want Wendy's to have this Nintendo Wii promotion because of Manhunt 2. Now, even though Wendy's promotion has nothing to do with Manhunt 2, just by associating themselves with the Wii is evil in Thompson's opinion because Manhunt 2 is coming out on the Wii.
That is the biggest stretch I have probably ever heard. Nintendo is a game company. They are working with a developer publisher to release a game called Manhunt on their system. Wendy's is a restaurant releasing toys, nothing to do with Manhunt. Also working with Nintendo, so he's drawing that line that Wendy's equals evil because they're working with a company who's working with another company. So why doesn't he just go after everybody? Why does he go after
Why
Microsoft?
does he go after the TV manufacturers? Because you're watching the game on a TV. You're playing the game on a TV.
There's one of the pieces of the story is that he cannot do any legal actions to try and stop Take-Two from releasing Manhunt 2 or Grand Theft Auto 4. He was prohibited by in law.
Like I said, between the settlement and making a fool of himself nationally and having national media call him out on it after Virginia Tech, Jack Thompson's done.
Next topic.
Let's talk about the happy, cheery world of Manhunt 2. There are some details about it now coming out. They're going to set this one in an insane asylum.
Sweet. Can't go wrong.
That makes everything better just instantly.
It does.
The main character's name is Daniel Lamb, and apparently he was part of a project that developed biological weapons. Somewhere along the line, funding got pulled from the project. However, Lamb volunteered to be a test subject.
Sure, go ahead, put me in this room. I'll snort some mustard gas for you for a little bit.
Well, guess what? Something goes wrong. He loses his memory and gets thrown in an insane asylum.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thought? And sometime down the line, there's an accident and he has to escape from the insane asylum. Hence the beginning of the game. So, here are some of your fun new death sequences.
Sweet.
Number 1, you're going to be plunging syringes into your enemies' hearts.
That's fun.
I guess I could go for some good convulsing, back-breaking spasms.
Number 2, you're going to chop off your enemies' heads with an axe and then use said head to distract others in the game.
Well, it is an insane asylum. You can pick them up and talk with it like a ventriloquist.
I was going to say, is it like a ventriloquist dummy?
How's it going, Johnny? Can I pass?
And here is, I guess in the original there were level 3 executions. Are those things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's your major level 3 execution. This is going to involve wire cutters. You're going to grab the enemy, remove his family jewels with said wire cutters, and then stick the wire cutters in the guy's back and rip out his spinal cord.
That's just excessive. I would think removing them, one or the other.
Yeah, but
I
both.
can see people taking issue with that.
Yeah.
Just because the level 3 ones in the original Manhunt, you'd walk up behind them and you'd have to hold the button down for so long to build up your level of death. But they were all still pretty quick, stealthy deaths.
Yeah, you're pretty much throwing stealth out the window when you go for the family jewels.
I wonder how much it would be to license the Faces of Death name, because we can make a whole franchise of video game based on Faces of Death. They'd all be mini games on different ways to kill something.
Mini games, that's awesome.
I hope they have stoning.
And now don't forget, this game is coming out for the Wii.
I wonder what kind of motion I have to wave around the Wiimote in order to do the wires
To cut off the jewels?
Yeah.
Next topic.
So, Tom,
Yes.
I'm going to give you some statements and you gotta answer them yes or no. This is basically asking, are you a fanboy? No, hang on, that's the general topic here.
That wasn't the question.
all right. No, okay, I'll answer that. In general, quote unquote fanboy, I'll say yes, fine. Yes, I am a
You
fanboy.
think you're a fanboy? Okay, well, let's go through the statements one by one.
Oh, jeez.
And the rest of us can agree or disagree with your answer.
Okay.
So, you become upset when something you like is questioned.
Yes.
2, you are intellectually dishonest.
What does that mean?
At least the way I took it, you'll argue a point.
Oh, even if I know my point's absurd, I just want to be right? I don't know. I think I concede when I change my mind, or when someone changes my mind. I don't think I argue something and I need to be absolutely right, and I'll just keep arguing it, even if I know it's absurd.
I'll give you a yes and no on that one.
Yeah, we'll give you a 50-50 on that one.
Okay, number 3, you resort to personal attacks during debates.
Answer correctly.
Sometimes.
Try again. There's one answer that works properly for you in this question.
Oh God. I think at work I've called some people stupid when they've tried to say Batman wasn't the greatest superhero in all of comicdom. So
Well,
okay.
it's because he's not.
I believe I was called a idiot on more than one occasion as well.
We'll go on. Number 4, the defeat of your enemy is more rewarding than victory.
Yes. Yes.
Number 5, you bring nothing new to the conversation.
Well,
That one I disagree with.
Yeah.
Tom
Okay.
does
Thank you.
bring points to the conversation.
And number 6, you are anti-fanboy.
Am I anti-fanboy? I don't think I'm anti-fanboy. I like other fanboys, like people
I was
that
about to say,
like.
you're pretty pro fanboy.
I'm pro nerd. I don't know if that's the same thing. I like other geeks that like things like comics and Magic the Gathering and video games.
I like geeks that like things.
Do you like stuff?
Next topic.
We talked a little bit about the announced Tom Clancy RTS game coming out called End War. It had been announced, and from the way the press release was saying, it was going to be an online army game. Now we have a little more detail. The developer, which is Michael DePalter, I believe is his name. He is the developer who did all the Total War series for the PC, which are very highly regarded. And he was interviewed, and he talked a little bit about what End War is going to be like. And from the way he makes it sound, he doesn't think the way RTSs are currently, it cannot translate well to the console. The control scheme just doesn't fit right.
I agree with that. I saw Chris try and play Battle for
Middle-earth.
Yeah, it didn't work well.
So what they're going to be doing with this one is, the best terms he could describe, and I think this is probably poor choices of words, he's going to be Maddenizing the real-time strategy aspect of things now. He's kind of taking away the God mode. The camera's always going to be following one unit from their point of view, but you're going to be able to jump from unit to unit. As the commander, you're going to be able to bring up a small map to show things. It's kind of like your playbook.
Or kind of like the God mode view.
No, it's not God mode. You're not going to be able to see over hills and that kind of thing. You're just going to have like a little simplistic little map of the whole area. Instead of having to actually point and click your guys around, they're going to be using voice commands. So you're going to be able to tell units, hey, Unit 1, go take Hill 5. Or Unit 3, go back up Hill 4.
Okay.
And the other big key here is that your army is not very large. At most, you only have 12 units.
All right, I like the sound of that.
And he actually likened the whole concept of the army more to he actually used the word Warhammer. You're going to have a small group of guys, which you're going to be able to personalize. Guys, tanks, those kind of things. If someone should die, well, they're dead forever. You have to get somebody new.
I like the sound
Yeah,
of
it's
that.
kind of how a lot of the Tom Clancy games are, at least in like the single player where you control unique units.
I gotta say, from someone that doesn't like RTS games, I like the sound of that because 12 units sounds much more manageable.
And one of the big things I'm reading here in your show notes is no resources.
Yes, the whole point now, instead of having different costs for different items, everything's going to have one cost, and there are no resources. You get these, they call them purchasing coupons, purchasing stars. If you capture a strategic point or you do something like kill an enemy, you'll get a coupon in which you can go redeem that for some new unit or something like that.
I like the sound of this. Now, I'm sure Tom is probably moaning and groaning.
No, I'm in favor of anyone trying to experiment, to try to just innovate in gaming. Even if it doesn't work and even if I hate it, I applaud you, sir, for taking steps towards doing something different.
But now, if this game were to come out, and if it were to meet this kind of list here of having, it's more not God mode thing, you're more apt to try it out, or at least give it a look.
I know I would be, because one of the reasons I don't like playing RTS games is because I don't like the resource management. I don't like Keith said, you're doing your thing, you think you're doing great, and then all of a sudden over a hill comes 40,000 freaking units swarm at you. I was always the guy who thought he was doing great mining for fish and gathering resources and doing wonderful, only to find out that the other guy has been ahead of me tenfold.
Yeah, but there's no greater joy on this earth than swarming someone with 20,000 units where they have no idea how you got that many that quick, and they throw a hissy fit over Battle.net and quit out, calling you a cheater.
The defeat of your enemy is more rewarding than victory. I guess it kind of works. Okay, just checking.
Yeah, and check.
Next topic.
Mailbag.
A lot of people don't really agree with you, Keith, that Queens of the Stone Age are a flavor of the month.
And how old are these people? I'm guessing they're all...
Well, hang on. This is from Rob. Hey guys, I love the show, but just thought I'd write to disagree with you on one point. Queens of the Stone Age is an amazing band and definitely not the flavor of the month. The band has been popular for almost 20 years, first in the form of Kios, and more recently as Queens of the Stone Age. They also have a lot of intricate guitar work as they are essentially making fun of robot rock. It makes for some intense riffs and a few solos. I imagine the reason they are on the new Guitar Hero is the new album due out next month. Anyway, again, I love the show.
To each their own, man.
I guess maybe flavor of the month was the wrong term to coin them as.
Maybe what we should have said was not worthy of being immortalized by Guitar Hero.
They can even be immortalized by Guitar Hero, but they're not Guitar Heroes. So maybe that would be a better term.
Yeah, okay,
Like you said.
here's the perfect example. Name the lead guitarist for Queens of the Stone Age.
Is it Slash?
And I was going to say, name the lead guitarist for Guns N' Roses or Black Sabbath or
Cream
Pantera or Cream. Yeah, see, those you all know. Guitar heroes, as they were.
Okay, so maybe they aren't flavor of the month. I'll even apologize for saying that if people enjoy them so much, but they are not Guitar Heroes. I'm sorry, they're not worthy of being a guitar legend.
No, don't apologize. Don't show weakness in front of our audience.
I can admit when I'm wrong. Like
You
I
can
said,
admit you're wrong, but you don't have to apologize for it.
all right, then you. They're not worthy of being a guitar hero. Is that better?
Yes.
Well, that was episode number 37 for May 11th, 2007. Any ham sandwiches?
I'd like to give out a ham sandwich finally. I've only been giving out Shattered Dream pies.
Well, 2.
I'm thinking.
Oh.
Thinking.
To Jessica Biel.
We already gave her a couple last.
You know what? She can have as many ham sandwiches as she wants. I'm going to give them to all the game makers out there that are trying new and inventive things, even if they fail. Ham sandwiches to all of you.
Ham sandwich to the Philippines and the Filipino people.
I want to give a couple ham sandwiches to Mr. Chad for specking out my new box, which is quite almost Uber, but it's good to go. And a ham sandwich to Newegg to getting it to me within 2 days. Very, very happy customer.
Well, it's also because it's working. There'd be Shattered Dream pies
Yes.
all around if it wasn't.
Can I give a Shattered Dream Pie? To the man who wrote the AI and hard on Settlers of Catan.
Yeah. I agree with that one.
May you be condemned to a hell where you must play only the hard AI in order to get out.
And I will talk to you guys later.
All right.
Later.
Later.
See ya.
See ya.
Night.
So I'm sitting in my living room with my laptop right next to my Xbox, so I can actually look.
Oh yeah, can you reach the controller or your headset?
Yeah, they're within reaching distance. I don't have to get my my fetching broom out.
Actually, you want to know what I highly recommend? They're called Golden Gophers.
Golden Gophers.
Yeah, they are basically, you know how the old people have like the little, it's like a squeeze handle,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
3-foot thing, and a suction cup at the end? If you get a real Golden Gopher, they're usually about $30. Yeah, those things rock.
Man, you people are lazy. God.